Hello everyone, my name is Caroline, and last year I read 50 books, and this year I want to read less. So usually from years to years I feel like you're supposed to go up in your goals, but I saw a video from the book Leo at the beginning of the year, and it really inspired me to read less and better. So I'll tell you all about why I decided to do a shorter book goal this year, and how I got back into reading, my favorite tools to help read. I know that reading can be really hard. I stopped for a long while there, but now I read every day, so I thought I could tell you about a few tips and tricks and tell you about my goals for the year. So this year I want to read 26 books, so that's a book every 2 weeks. Like I said, I watched the Book Leo video at the beginning of the year. I'll link it down below. And she was talking about all the different problems with big book goals, and it really rang true for me. 50 books might not seem like a lot when you hear people talk on Book Talk about reading 40 books a month or even more, but for me, it was almost a book per week, and with work, with my other hobbies, it was a little bit much. I was reading shorter books to be able to read one book per week. Also, I was not DNFing books that I should have stopped reading. That really did not bring me joy. I was really forcing myself to read, and that's not a great way to keep reading as a habit. But I didn't want to stop reading them because I already had invested like 2, 3, 4 days of reading, and I was thinking, if I stop reading it, then it means that I've lost 5 days. I'm gonna have to catch up with my reading goals, and that's not really the mindset I want to have. And it was really a stressful December. At the end of the year, I remember I had, a book to catch up. I was late by like 1 week, and New Year's Eve we don't do anything usually, but I spent like all day reading just to finish my book in time. And again, I want to do that for fun. I think I was trying to push myself to read more, but it made it not so fun. Also, having a big reading goal means that you really prioritize that hobby. And for myself, as you may have seen in my past videos, I really have a lot of hobbies. I picked up on cross-stitching at the end of last year or this year, and it takes up a lot of time. I also game. I got myself a gaming PC last year, and I want to start streaming. So between this and fountain pens and painting my nails, what else? Like my ukulele that I don't play very often, taking care of my plants, journaling, still journal a lot. So between all those hobbies, having a big book goal means that I prioritize this one over the other one, and I really want to go with the flow and what I'm feeling. Really, like every day, I'm not gaming every day, I'm not cross-stitching every day. It depends on what my mind, body, and soul needs. So those were the 5 reasons why I agree with the book Leo that maybe it would be better for me to have a qualitative goal rather than going for big numbers. So for 2024, I decided to read 26 books, one every 2 weeks. I want to read longer books, and I also want to keep my habit of reading every day. So that's mainly my goal, keeping it simple and just trying to enjoy the books I read. How did I get back into reading? As a child, I read a lot, and maybe we've all seen those TikTok that say that it's because of social media right now that we didn't have back in my days. We didn't have Instagram or TikTok. And I think it's part of it. There's also the TikToks about how it was a coping mechanism just to deal with our lives. And that's also true. And I think school also ruined it a bit for me. I loved reading. I went in arts and letter in college, which is Cégep in Canada. And we had to read like one book every week. I was reading a lot of theater, and at university also lots of reading and lots of boring reading, especially in anthropology, like hard articles of people who were just writing. I was saying this, they write like they just want to read themselves, like it's not for everyone else, just for themselves. And it's so hard to read. So when I finished school, I really stopped. I stopped reading for quite a while. I finished in 2014. So it's been a few years, no reading, maybe a graphic novel here or there, a self-help book. And in 2021, I saw a TikTok about books to get out of the slump. And I read a few graphic novels and really decided to pick that up in 2022. In the first half of 2022, I was reading more casually. I was borrowing books on Libby and read on my iPad. And I was getting quite more comfortable with reading. And I wanted to get an e-reader. I had one back in college. Let me get it. I had this tiny KOBO Mini that just fit in a shirt pocket. It's quite messed up right now. My boyfriend is using it at the moment, and he dropped it a few times, so it's having a hard time. But I decided, I was like, I'll try getting my KOBO Mini out, and if I'm using it, if I like it, I'll get another e-reader. And so I got, in the summer of 2022, for my birthday, I got myself a KOBO Libra 2. And then after getting it, I decided to install the app Bookly to really track my reading and do reading every day. So to keep my streak, there's a lot of fun feature, I'll tell you about it. And I started, I think, July 1st, reading every day since then. So I read 37 books in 2022, and I decided, that's not too bad. I really read starting at the half of the year. I can put it up to 50 books for next year. And I did, but it was a lot. So that's why I decided half for my goal, and if I do more than that, that's great, but I'm not gonna push myself too hard. Alright, so my tools, like I said, I'm using the KOBO Libra 2. I got it in part because it is waterproof, so I can take it in the bath. I'm a bath girly. I love to read in the bath. I put music on, and I never dropped it, but if I were to drop it, it will be safe. I also really liked using an e-reader because you can read in the sun on your phone or on a tablet. Often, if the light hit it, you can't see anything anymore. But with an e-reader, like in the sun or also in the dark, there's a night light, so you can read in the dark without any external light. I was thinking I wouldn't like the asymmetry of the buttons on the side, but really it's pretty nice because you can, let me show you. So you can flip it on the other side. You can also read with the buttons down like this. So it doesn't bother me that it's not as symmetric. I really like that in the KOBO you can choose if you see the number of page left or the percentage or the amount of time left in the book or in the chapter. So I was used to the KOBO software, and I really like it. It's a Canadian brand, and it allows me to get books from the library. I think I bought maybe 2 or 3 books in the last 2 years. I borrowed everything I could from the library. I just recently bought Bride from Ailey Hazelwood because I wanted to read that one as soon as it got out. Other than that, like I said, I use Libby a lot. I talked about it in the previous video, I remember, a while back, because I was listening to audiobooks there. You can get audiobooks and books from your libraries, so, I mean, what could you ask for more? It's free. Then the other two tools I'm using are apps to track my reading. Like I said earlier, I'm using Bookly. It's a paid app. There's also a free version, but I think you're limited to 5 books or something. It's not a lot, and I really, really enjoyed using it. You can start the timer on your phone, or it works also on iPad or on Mac. I'm not sure if there is an Android version or PC. But yeah, it even works with the Apple Watch. It's not super reliable on the Apple Watch. I don't use it that much. But there is you can time your reading and then have an estimate of how long it will take to finish. There is one also in the KOBO, but I like to use the Bookly app because I can decide, I want to finish that book in 2 weeks, so I should read like 45 minutes every day, or it gives me an estimate of how much daily I should be reading to reach my goal. There's also super cute templates at the end of the month or at the end of reading a book that you can share on social media or save, or it's pretty cute data. For data though, I really love StoryGraph. I'm using like also Goodreads and StoryGraph at the same time, but I prefer StoryGraph because you get so much graphs, and I'm a data nerd. I just love like Google Sheets and making graphs. But in StoryGraph, you can get a little curves on the number of books you've read each month and how many pages you read, your most read authors, the most read genres. I think that's really interesting to see what kind of books I've been reading and see from 1 year to the next, like how it shifted. I've been reading a lot of more light-hearted books last year because I just was in the mood to read happy books, like contemporary romance, because it's gonna end well. And I also like thrillers and horror from time to time, but it was needed a little light-hearted fun. You can also see if you read more digitally. There's so many graphs. It's really nice if you're into that sort of things. I'll leave my StoryGraph account if you want to follow me on there, see what I'm reading. That's all this combination of things that have made me read more in the last year. So that was all for today. Tell me, what are your book goals this year? If you have any, if you want to start reading, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I also wanted to finish with a little talk. Thank you for staying and watching the whole video. I didn't want to start with this talk because I hate when video start with it's been so long since my last video, blah blah blah, where have I been? And I still think it's important to address it. It's not like let's address this situation. But I've been away quite a while. I think my last video is 4 years ago, and some things happened. We're not gonna talk about them too much. But I needed to take time to take care of myself, learn about myself, discovering what I like, what I want to do, and learning to have a life balance and not push myself too hard. So many things. And it's been quite a while since I wanted to start making videos again. It was slowly building up in me. And I was thinking about starting doing live stream too. Probably gonna come this year. I really hope. I'm getting all my things set up. And yeah, I decided you're not gonna be ready until you start. You know, I always wait for things to be, or not wait, but I really wanted for things to be high standards, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but you can't get better at something if you're not practicing. And it's like I need to make videos to get better at making videos and to get more comfortable. Also, it's been a long break, so I'm a little bit rambly, a little bit nervous. I missed a little bit of practice. But yeah, I'm really ready and happy to be here. I can't wait to talk about everything with you. And I'll see you very soon. I'm not gonna do a video every week like I did before. I was thinking more one every 2 weeks, just to get there slowly. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.